Uh, my name's Amir.
Mine is Peniel, and we're going to talk about the Great Gatsby, and this is our crash course video.
Yep, let's get it. Action!
Action.
The story starts out with Nick Carraway from Minnesota, an innocent bystander that views and watches others' love lives happen. Gatsby is a high moral person viewed in a gorgeous way, also a mysterious man. Nick has landed in New York, where you have the West Egg, a society with new money, and you also have the East Egg, represented in a good, rich model with old money. Nick and Gatsby were located on the West Egg, and Tom and Daisy were located on the East Egg. Tom is a jerk. Tom is a cheater. He is married to Daisy but commits adultery, which is wrong. A quote from the text that states this, and I can prove and back me up on this, is when Tom and Nick arrived in New York. Tom insisted for Nick to meet his new girl, forcing him out the car. Page 28. I want you, which is said by Tom. I want you to meet my new girl. Tom has a relationship with Myrtle and Daisy. Daisy is indecisive, and she is a young female. Jordan Baker is a golfer, Nick's lady friend, and also a dishonest person.
Okay, well, we have the first story of, like, the first kind of, like, plot of it, of the book, which is when Nick goes to Tom's house. They have a party with Daisy, and Jordan's there also. They just kind of, like, have a dinner party, and they just kind of talk about stuff. Nick finds out about Daisy's kid with Tom. And yeah, we kind of have all those characters of the book, or some of the characters of the book introduced there. Then we have the next part where Tom and Nick go to the what is, like, the Valley of the Ashes, whatever. Yeah, the Valley of the Ashes in New York, and like they go over there. Nick meets Myrtle there, and Myrtle was like he said, is Tom's mistress. And yeah, Tom's mistress Myrtle and Tom go to like this another kind of party thing. It's kind of like a kickback, where like Nick discovers that like Tom is kind of like a bad person, but Nick just kind of goes with it at the end, and he just kind of has fun, gets drunk for the second time in his life, and yeah.
I had been drunk just twice in my life, and the second time was that afternoon.
And Nick also talks to a female there. She tells him about Gatsby, or tells him more about Gatsby. You heard a little bit about him. He tells him more about Gatsby, who's this mysterious man that, like, no one knows who he is. Then later that night, Myrtle and Tom get into an argument about Daisy, which leads into Tom smacking the crap out of Myrtle.
What did the five fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
And yeah, well, the party gets like kind of shut down, like it got ruined by that, and Nick gets home. He doesn't know how he got home, but he got home, and Nick grows a lot more curious about Gatsby. The next day he wakes up and finds out that he got an invitation to Gatsby's party. Nick is kind of like surprised because he didn't really know Gatsby. He heard a lot of different things, and yeah, and they go to the party. Nick goes to the party. He sees Jordan there. They look for Gatsby, and while he's at the party, he finds out he was the only one invited there. And take it away, Amir.
Okay, so going off that, what Pino had said, everything appears luxurious and with wealthy guests enjoying themselves at the party, while Nick and Jordan try to find Gatsby at the party, while everyone is occupied by the luxurious views of Gatsby's mansion. Nick runs into him on the stairs. They conversate for a little. Gatsby stating that he looks familiar to him, which both coming to find out fought in World War One. They continue to enjoy their company. Later on, we find that Jordan, whose Gatsby had spoken to, Gatsby had told Jordan something important at the party after Nick had spoke with him, because Gatsby had wanted to speak with her
Jordan
too.
alone.
Yeah, Jordan alone. His love for Daisy, and the important thing that he tells Jordan Baker is his love for Daisy, which he wants Nick's help to get closer to Daisy, and he wants to gain the love and affection and connection that he had with her again in Louisville.
The important thing to know about this is that at the time, Nick doesn't know this, and how he finds out is later on. Gatsby and Nick go to New York. Gatsby takes him in his really nice car. It's like a Rolls Royce, bright yellow, looks super dope.
It's pretty, isn't it, old sport? Haven't you ever seen it before? It's all a custom job. Supercharged engine. Get dressed. We're going to lunch.
And Gatsby tells him a little bit about his life and his background. So Gatsby takes Nick to this like kind of party thing, another party, right, in New York. It's like an underground sort of thing where they see Jordan there, and then also Gatsby introduces Nick to one of his shady friends. This man, his name is Wolfshine. He's a man who sells alcohol like underground. Kind of deals it out because of the prohibition. You're not allowed to drink alcohol during this time, and so he would just sell it. And Gatsby also tells Nick about the plan, what like Amir was talking about, that he wants Nick to set up a tea party with him and Daisy and Nick, because Nick's cousins with Daisy, and he wants to rekindle their little flame from 5 years ago.
Gatsby explains to Nick that he wants his help, stated again by both of us. The plan is to invite Daisy to come over to Nick's house for tea, to surprise her with company for Gatsby. Nick is surprised to see Gatsby's house lit up at night, full of silence, as usually every weekend he throws a grand party for everyone. As Nick walks back home, Gatsby startles Nick as he walks back to his house. Trying to please Nick, he invites him for a swim. Nick and Gatsby enjoy themselves talking about what they're gonna do with the upcoming plan with Daisy. Gatsby brings the plan to Nick's attention again. Nick takes the offer and agrees to help Gatsby out by inviting her to his house. Nick is slightly upset with Gatsby because he offers him money, with Nick not taking that too kindly. But he's still going through with the plan, as Gatsby wants him to.
Okay, so the time for the tea party comes, right? Gatsby's kind of ready, really nervous. Nick and him are waiting for Daisy to show up. They're just kind of sitting there. Like, Gatsby's just, like, looking around and, like, he tries to leave. Nick calms him down. And then Daisy shows up. Surprise, surprise. And Gatsby, Nick goes to go answer the door. And Gatsby leaves by that time. He just dips. The man just walks out. Comes back, knocks on the door when Daisy's in the house. Soaking wet. He looks really dumb. I don't know what he's doing. And this time he kind of stays for a bit. And then they all just sit there really awkwardly. Don't talk at all. Like, say hi, how are you, good. That's about it. finally Nick decides to do something. Nick just gets up, says he's going in town because he wants them to just like kind of sit with each other and kind of like rekindle the flame again. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one again. Just rekindle the flame. And so he tries to leave. Gatsby tries to go with him. He calms Gatsby down. Gatsby goes back with Daisy. They kind of chill there for a minute. By the time Nick comes back, they're back to normal. They're like best friends. Or
Bow.
yeah.
Hello.
Bow, hello. Like that. Yep. And so, Gatsby gets this great idea of taking all of them to Gatsby's house. Where Gatsby, like, they all kind of kick it for a while, and then Gatsby tells a little bit about his past, about Dan Cody, his former mentor, who is deceased at the moment. He's dead. Rest in peace, Dan Cody. Real one. So, the story behind it was Gatsby grew up in it was like kind of a prairie kind of situation, that's what it looked like. And, like, his family was poor. Like, he didn't really have much. And then he grew up a little bit, went to St. Alph's College.
He's from North Dakota.
Yeah, he's from North Dakota. Prairies, right? I think so, at least. I don't know. Anyways, he went to St. Alph's College, where he didn't really have enough money to pay for his tuition or, like, all the college fees. And so he kind of dropped out, started a fishing little thing where he just trying to make money off that. While he was fishing one day, he saw a yacht that was in distress in the middle of a storm. He hopped in the yacht, saved the dude on the yacht. That man is Dan Cody. Dan Cody's a billionaire of his time, let me tell you. That man is rich. And so they like spend hell of time together. They become really good friends and all that. And then Dan Cody dies. It's kind of sad, but Gatsby's also like, hey, I'm about to get paid because that was my dude. And like, if money's going to anyone, should go to me.
Y'all gonna understand for you. Tell them to bring me my money.
But nope. Dan Cody's family cheats Gatsby out of that. So Gatsby gets nothing. And yeah. And then so this is kind of where Wolfshine comes back to play. That's how Gatsby gets all his money. He's been doing the underground stuff, making all that dough, all for Daisy, you know, because in between the dough and Dan Cody's death, he goes to World War I, and he left to Daisy going to World War I, which sucked, and like that's why he came back. But he didn't want to come back until he had stuff, so he came back rich as heck for Daisy, across the lake or whatever with the green light. You know what I mean. Anyways, so also later on, they meaning Daisy, Jordan, and Tom and Nick go to Gatsby's party, where Gatsby and Daisy kind of sneak off for a while and just kind of like kick it. They talk about how much they still love each other, and Tom is butthurt and he's trying to find his wife.
And Gatsby, he calls off his parties, his servants, to prevent gossip. Also, to lure Daisy back into the picture again. And Nick one day takes a train to the East Eggs, to Tom and Daisy's. He sees also Gatsby and Jordan Baker there. Gatsby is shocked and heartbroken to see what he had seen, which is Daisy and Tom's baby. This is the only thing that's unchangeable between the two, Gatsby and Daisy. It's an unchangeable thing between both Gatsby and Daisy. And Daisy seems to not even want the baby anymore since she figures out she loves Gatsby. Yeah, tough. Daisy also asks Gatsby to go into the city, which overhearing by Tom, he suggests that they all should go into the city and drive down there. But Gatsby accepts both. They both have unbearable love for each other, but they are hiding it at the moment. Tom makes them, like I said earlier, Tom comes up with the idea that they all should go into the city, which Daisy invited only Gatsby to. But Tom figures out that they all should.
Well, Daisy said it at first too. Daisy said, "Oh, we should just all go," and then she started changing her mind, and then Tom said, "No, let's all go."
Yeah. And Daisy and Gatsby, they're riding in Tom's car, and which is weird, and Nick and Tom and Jordan are riding in Gatsby's car. They stop at Wilson's garage. Then, for Tom to find out that he's losing both his girls. Daisy drives back, and Myrtle gets hit by Gatsby.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, by Daisy. In Gatsby's car. Cut. Myrtle gets hit by Daisy. By Daisy's driving in Gatsby's car.
So, Myrtle. Okay. Action. Myrtle gets hit by Daisy in Gatsby's car. Gatsby's getting blamed for this by hitting Myrtle. Tom's blaming him to make him seem like a horrible person. So Wilson will get mad at him.
After Tom blames the whole thing on Gatsby, or like kind of publicizes the thing on Gatsby. Yeah, he blames it on Gatsby basically. He tells Wilson that Gatsby's one of the hitter, the reason he hit her is because Gatsby's one with the affair. Gatsby had an affair with Myrtle, and in actuality, it was Tom who had an affair with Myrtle though. But he blames it on Gatsby. Wilson gets so mad, he's just through with everything. Later on, he goes to Gatsby's house while Gatsby's swimming, stays behind him, shoots him in the back, kills Gatsby, kills himself, and yeah, then that's kind of how the book ends.
Gatsby's. I know Mr. Gatsby will be very happy that you've called.
Hello? Hello? Hello, is everything alright?
Nick just leaves. That's where we get the therapist scene where he's talking about how he's disgusted. He's tired with everyone. And yeah. And then for symbols, we have the green light, which is the view you can only see at it's a light at the end of Daisy's dock, which you can see at Gatsby's house. And it kind of resembles how Gatsby like reaches out to it, resembles how close he is. But also, yeah, he's like so close to his dream and like he's so hopeful. And yeah. The next color we have is yellow, which is linked to like the good and riches that Gatsby has, or that everyone has, honestly. Like Gatsby's car is yellow. Daisy's dress was yellow. Good looks. Daisy's rich as heck too. Daisy's baby represents the unchangeable factor in between Gatsby and Daisy. Something that like you can't really just put aside. Like if Daisy cheated, like I guess you can get over that. Like you can just forgive her and just forget, leave in the past, but you can't leave a baby in the past because that thing still lives. Like you can't just kill a baby for some reason. It's against the law. Straight up. And East Egg, that represents the housing of the wealthy and the old money. West Egg is very similar, housing of wealthy but new money. That's the old money just basically means the money that's passed down generation to generation. They're rich as heck. Old money means like stockbrokers and underground alcohol sellers like Gatsby, you know. Yeah, and then thieves.
Okay, now you have themes, like you said. The American Dream. The American Dream in the story is viewed on to be successful through yourself and gain wealth and status and be viewed in a good way and a good way by others.
Sorry.
View a man. Focuses on you as a man and your wife to take care of her or your family to gain wealth and be part of a great society. And you can see this through Gatsby because he tries to take care of Daisy with his riches and wealth, and also his good personality.
But she don't want it.
Low key. Love. Another point is love. Being passed through the whole book. You can see this being passed through the whole book. Through Daisy, Gatsby, back and forth, Tom and Daisy, then Tom's affairs, which is not really love.
It's like fake love.
Yeah, fake love. Stay away from that.
One night love.
Yeah, tribute red. Alright.
Modernism was that jazz age, 1920s, you know, people are celebrating World War I being over. They're all kind of happy that, like, we're just finally good now, we can be in peace. And they're just kind of chilling with that.
Alright. Why Gatsby is great?
Why is he great?
He's great because he has self-control to achieve his own goals.
What do you mean?
He had great connections with powerful people. He had a great determination to achieve his own goals, no matter the cost. And originally, Gatsby comes from nothing. Knowing the truth about him and the story explained, and gaining wealth to his own, in his own way, in a rewardable way, and having a successful life with riches. With riches. He's rich.
That man is rich.
Rich. I cut.